Hello and welcome. My name is Miss Barbara with the Greensboro Public Library, and for today's Book Talk with a Twist, I'm featuring the book Dragon Pearl by Yoon Ha Lee. It's part of the Rick Riordan Presents series. So Rick Riordan got together with his publisher to make an imprint that features books by authors who write fast-paced adventure stories with young main characters, but that are based on legends, myths, and folktales of their culture with a modern twist, much like Rick Riordan's own series. And so this one has one of my favorite creatures of folk legend, the Korean fox spirit. It also features one of my favorite book settings, which is a space opera. So if you like books set in outer space, this might be a good book for you. Our main character is Min, who is a Korean fox spirit. Fox spirits are known for several things. They have the ability to charm other creatures and humans. They can cast glamours and change their appearance, and sometimes the appearance of others in tales. And they also are known for having quite a bit of luck. In some stories, they're very hostile to humans, and in others, they're merely harmless tricksters. But in Min's story, unfortunately, they have a bad reputation for being con artists, and they're known for tricking people out of their money and causing a lot of trouble for folks. And they're not very liked amongst the people in her universe. The universe has lots of great creatures in it, including dragons and other creatures of folk legend. But here are Min's people stuck in the outer planets in the middle of nowhere because her people are so disliked. But that's not going to work for Min. Min is strong and smart and courageous, and she doesn't see why she can't go out and explore the greater universe. She dreams of leaving her planet and figuring out where her place is in the wider world and making a life for herself. One day, Min's dreams get catapulted quickly into action by a visit from the space fleet because her brother's gone missing. And there's a mystery about his disappearance. What happened to Min's brother? Did he really abandon his mission? What's it got to do with the legendary Dragon Pearl that no one is really talking about, but rumors exist of? Min is not going to wait around. She heads off planet and gets into an adventure. Along the way, she makes new friends, has to employ her fox trick skills, and gets herself in and out of quite a lot of trouble, and she just might end up saving the planet and the universe in the process. If you like stories with a strong female character, with adventure, with lots of magical creatures, and set in outer space, it was a really fun read. I like Min a lot, and I hope you will too. If you'll stay and join us for the next part of the video, we'll make one of my favorite recipes, which are fox pockets, a type of Asian sushi that is said to be much loved by foxes, and especially magical foxes. And if you give them a try, I hope you like them as much as I and the foxes do. So let's make foxy pockets. It's what one of my friends calls them. They're the Korean version of Inari sushi, which is associated with the fox goddess Inari, who is also the protector of the changing, shape-shifting foxes like we saw in Dragon Pearl. One of the fox's favorite foods is deep fried tofu that's been seasoned, and you can cut it up into noodle soup, so fox udon, or you can take the fried tofu pockets and make a type of stuffed sushi that's somewhere between sushi and a rice ball. And so the Korean version of inari sushi is called yubu chobap, and it's really delicious. You can put nearly anything in it that you would put into a rice ball. You can get started a few ways. We have some great Asian grocery stores here in Greensboro, and they often carry these kits back in the refrigerated section that have everything you need for inari sushi or yubu chobap. It has the deep fried and seasoned tofu pockets, the sushi rice vinegar, and a small packet of rice seasonings, furikake. If you can't find the kit, you can buy all of those items separately. In fact, I have some other furikake rice seasonings here to try out different flavors. You can also buy the tofu pockets in the frozen section or canned food section of a lot of Asian grocery stores, and the rice vinegar you can buy in regular size bottles. Having the kit's pretty convenient though. It has everything you need besides the sushi rice. So for the sushi rice recipe, don't forget to click into the links for the last videos we made over the summer that show you how to prepare and cook Japanese short grain rice for sushi rice. So we're going to start from the point where you've made the sushi rice. So go back and check out our video or check out a recipe online. We're ready with our cooked rice to add the vinegar and make the rest of our recipe. Here we go. So before we open our kit and start making the pockets, let's talk about what else I have. You can just add rice to the kit and make kind of a light lunch or side dish. You can also add different ingredients, the kind that pretty much anything you would add to rice balls, and make it a more substantial meal, change up the flavors, which is what I like to do. So you need cooked sushi rice. You also need some things to add in. One of the most popular things to add in are rice seasonings, but you don't have to go to an Asian grocery store necessarily to pick some up. The most common and popular rice seasoning is simply toasted sesame seeds, which you can pick up at most grocery stores these days. And then there are also a lot of other dried seasonings called furikake that you can pick some kinds up at the regular grocery stores, but often Asian grocery stores carry 5 or 10 or more different kinds. And they're usually a mixture of dried vegetables, some have dried fish or seaweed, even dried egg in them. And they're meant to sprinkle on your rice or to add into dishes like this to give it some nice flavor. And so I'm going to be using one of my favorites, which is shishofume, beefsteak plant. And then I have one today that is dried mushroom. And one that's mixed dried vegetables. So it looks like we have some purple yam, carrots, some pumpkin, and potato. And both of these also have seaweed in them for salt and a little bit of flavor. The other things that I have are some of my favorite items to add into rice balls. So I have pickled plum, which goes really well with the shisho fume. It's probably my hands down favorite combination. The pickled plum is pickled in shisho leaves, which these are powdered red shisho leaves. So the tastes aren't exactly the same because of the vinegar and the plum, but they go together really well. And I have some of the pickled plums and shisho from the pickles and vinegar already chopped up and ready to add. They do have pits in them, so the first time you give them a try, make sure to take the pits out. And then these things are actually one of my other favorite combinations to add to rice balls. So I've got dry packed salmon. You can pick this up at Asian grocery stores. You can also use canned salmon or tuna or even chicken. But if you do, drain it really, really well so that it doesn't make your rice come apart from being too wet. And then I usually add a little bit of mayonnaise. I like Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise, but you can use any mayonnaise you have in your house or whatever you like. Their mayonnaise is a little bit tangy. And then this is one of my favorite things to add. It's either a little chili or this is yuzu kisho, which has yuzu, the zest of a citrus fruit. And then it also has pepper, and it's kind of spicy from the green pepper and has a nice little citrusy kick. So it tastes really good when you make chicken or salmon or tuna salad. And so I like adding these into my rice balls or my Foxy Pockets. And then if you didn't get the packet, the only other thing you really need is the sushi vinegar. Right. And then I have a cutting board because it's easy to work on, and a piece of plastic wrap because the rice is very sticky, and even after we add everything in, it's going to try and stick to everything else. So now our fillings are done and ready to go into the pockets. But before we proceed, I'd like to add that you don't have to use any of these types of fillings. Apart from what comes in the kit, if you'd like to jazz up your pockets, you can try your favorite cooked vegetable. So if you have any leftover cooked vegetables or frozen peas or corn or carrots, those are popular fillings. You can also do scrambled egg broken up into small pieces. That's a very popular rice ball filling. Or if you have, say, leftover bacon, you can crumble it into bits, or some ground turkey or pork or chicken, hamburger. You can drain those really well and add those into your rice. Try it with what you have and what you like. If you have other vegetables, I've done spinach and eggplant and vegetables that I had left over from making yesterday's dinner. In our video of rice balls, we really talked about how rice balls are a way to wrap rice with your leftovers from yesterday and take them for lunch. And this is very much the same thing. Don't feel like you have to go out and try to find a lot of ingredients, or if you're not interested in some of these flavors that you can't make the pockets. Make it with what you have and what you like to eat. Or hunt down some of these and give something new a try. So take the pockets out of the package Be careful, you might want to open it over a bowl or a sink because it'll have liquid in it. Same for opening the can. And then drain the liquid off and take your pockets out. You're going to want to take your pockets, they're very wet from being in the marinade, and gently squeeze them out over a bowl. You'll know they're about done when they feel wet, but not like they've soaked up a lot of liquid. They tear pretty easy, so squeeze them gently. The amount of pockets that come in each kit differs from brand to brand. Same for the cans. But generally, you get around 12 or 15 at least. And so a pretty decent amount. Once you have the pockets all squeezed out and ready, you just fill them. So you're going to open it up very, very gently. Try not to tear it because the pockets are pretty thin. And then hold it open like you're opening a coin purse and put a spoonful of filling in. Press your filling down and add a little more at a time until your pocket's completely full. Open up your pocket and do your next filling. So I've finished filling the plate with pockets and washed my hands. Now I'm going to pour a few of the toasted sesame seeds into the lid of my jar, and I am going to sprinkle a few sesame seeds on each pocket. Just like that to finish it off.